All right, and we are live. What is up, YouTube boxing family? It is I, KRAS7435. We back at it with another good live stream. Top of the morning, after party cookout. You already know. Shout out to the brother, Mr. Devin the Dream Haney. Oh my God, what a night! And it was a good night of boxing. And honestly, man, I just have to give my credibility or show love and respect to the Haney team and the Haney family. Salute to Devin Haney for dominating George Kambosos Jr. And man, what a night, bro! What a night. Also, the link is pinned onto the description if anybody wants to come in and talk some boxing with me. But yeah, let's get right to it. Let's cook, man. All right, let's go. Devin Haney fought George Kambosos Jr. as of last night for the undisputed 135-pound titles, and yeah, it was a good fight. Very, very good, high level fight. I thought Devin Haney fought his best version out there, and I thought George Kambosos, he fought his best, but he looked absolute dog shit and looked ordinary. And this is a good fight. This is obviously a very memorable fight that I can definitely say that's going to be remembered forever, leading to the very very future of year 5,000 or whatever. And I have to say, Devin Haney definitely showed out tonight, or he showed out last night, and I give him all the praise, all the love and respect. Everything that Devin Haney went through was hard, earned, and given, and he did it. I have to give Devin all of his credibility, and he came to fight, bro. Devin really came to fight. The only thing the only thing that I would criticize out of Devin's performance is just that you just have to keep active, with your jab, use your combinations, and also use your defensive ring IQ because Devin doesn't use that, all the time. But he is such a good masterclass boxer that he knows how to make somebody look very, very basic and average to the point where his skill set, will carry him such a long way to the point where even if he's in a very dangerous, difficult fight, Devin Haney will come out to, show out. And I think that's what's going to show, in those big fights leading into the future because Devin Haney is going to have a lot more work to do leading up to 140 and above. So I think Devin, he's already there. I like to see him move up to 140. I don't think a rematch is needed for this fight. I think George Kambosos Jr. knows what's going to happen in a rematch. I think Kambosos understands that this isn't a fight that he wants to try to rematch for, knowing that based out of the contract details, if I'm not mistaken, Devin had won. He has to honor the rematch, but it has to be in Australia again. So I don't think Devin should do that. I think Devin should either vacate and he should just move up to 140, or he could try to see if the WBA can step in to mandate the fight between him and Gervonta Tank Davis. I just think that's like the best thing to do if I'm Devin Haney. I want to try to get Tank involved so that way Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe, they could just buy Devin out, and then therefore Devin, he could be set to a new contractual basis where Devin, he could just fight Tank, beat him, or if Tank beats Devin, then that means that they could have like a multiple fight deal, and then make a crap load of money, and then do the same thing at 140. Fight somebody huge up there, like a Gary Antoine Russell or whoever. Like I don't know who would be out there, but I think based off of what we've seen out of Devin's performances, I think Devin's already there to be the best. He just needs to show it, and I think that's really the problem. Um, he is not being granted the opportunity to beat all of his contemporaries. So Devin's trying to do the best he can to be up there to contend with the best. And I think the problem is that nobody's willing to step inside the ring with him, because the problem with him is just that Devin's on a path where he has so much on on the table of where he needs to go. So I don't know. I think honestly, man, he should definitely do what he needs to do, and I think eventually he'll get up there. I think Devin will get all the big fights that we want to see, and I think honestly at the end of the day, we're gonna see greatness out of him, and I definitely respect that out of him. Because Devin, he's a beast, bro. I don't care what anybody has to say. Devin is one bad dude, and I don't think anybody's messing with him for a very, very long time. And I don't like. I personally think Devin can just be like he could easily become a 3 division undisputed world champion or 4 division undisputed world champion. So I really don't care what anybody has to say because Devin, he earned it. He did what he had to do, and honestly, he did it, bro. I don't give two shits what anybody has to say. This is a kid, well, this is a man that started his career at like what, 16, 17 years old. You went out to Mexico to start off your career. You built up a very good fan base out there, and then on top of that, you were beating up on the best dudes out of Mexico, and then you moved, out, or he elevated his career back to America, where he had his first American debut on Top Rank, and then after that he went off to the Zone or Matchroom to build himself up for his own promotional business. Then after that, Devin, he just shined like a diamond, man. He just went out there and he beat the living crap out of everybody, dude. So the only thing that I have to say is congratulations, Devin. You are one insanely good talent, and I don't think anybody's gonna fuck with him. I think honestly, the problem is just that um, Devin Haney is not getting the respect that he deserves. But I think with this win here, this is like a Jack Johnson victory 2.0 of beating another Tommy Burns, where Devin went out there and he did his fucking thing, bro. He absolutely did his fucking thing. And I have to give him all the credibility in the world because nobody will ever do that type of action that he just did. Hey, salute to you, Terry Smooth. Salute, salute. Thank you for coming through. I was also gonna say, Terry, like if you want to come into the panel, the link's right there. I'll put you on if you want to talk. But yeah, man, I'm just so fucking happy, bro. This is not only just a win for Black America, but this is just a win for boxing. And I'm happy that Devin did this because now you can't say that he's a bum. You can't say that he's garbage. That motherfucker is the realest, most baddest fighter on the planet. No matter how many times people want to say, oh, Devin Haney, he's pillow fisted. He's not that good. He can't do this, can't do, flipping jack and shit and all this other nonsensical bullshit. Devin Haney is the best fighter at 135. I don't care what anybody has to say. Gervonta Tank Davis, if you want to get that smoke, you can easily knock on Devin's door to say, hey, Floyd, Leonard, make the damn fight. So therefore, we could have this fight be made in, Las Vegas, have it in New York City, down in Brooklyn, or MSG. It doesn't matter. Just have it somewhere, right? Gervonta, if your team is listening, make the fight. Because I know you have the ability to beat Devin or give him his toughest fight ever, but just fight him. That's all that I want to see. I want to see Tank rise. I want to see like a Devin rise. I want to see Shakur rise. I want to see a lot of people rise. And there's plenty of other names that are on the come up too. Don't forget about Michelle Lazarza Rivera. Don't forget about Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin. He's going to be taking over 135 very soon. Keyshawn Davis, Frank Martin. Just plenty of talent that you guys don't know who's out there that can easily upset the apple carts. And I just think honestly, at the end of the day, like it's over, dude. You can't stop Black American boxing, and you just can't stop the talent that's rising. And I'm just happy that 135 is finally unified because there's no more fucking email bullshit championship with that franchise title. And I think Devin should just throw all the belts into the garbage. You know, he doesn't need to keep those undisputed titles. He should just go ahead and fight Tank. Tell Tank, yo, let's fight each other. And then after that, we could vacate. And then after that, we could just have like a 2-fight or 3-fight deal. Terry Smoot says, so many people called him an email champ. What is he now? Yeah, he's undisputed. You can't tell him anything different. He's the number one top dog in boxing. We'll do him troll these jails. Yeah, man. Have fun doing that. Yeah, fuck these damn bitch ass troll channels, man. You guys are all dipshits. You guys are all pissed off, all angry. Devin won. He's so pillow fisted, man. Yeah, he's so damn pillow fisted that he almost stopped George Kambosos in the 3rd and 10th and 12th round. That's how much like pillow fisted nature Devin has to hurt somebody and push him back. It's not like you don't have to have power just to knock somebody out. You can have power to keep somebody back off of you, and you can control the fight simply with a jab. And Devin just like honestly, at the end of the day, that's what Devin did. He used a jab all night long to control the distance and to control the pace that he didn't need to do that much to win. So Devin Haney did whatever he had to do to win the fight, and that's it. You know, George Kambosos can't get away from a jab. I said that from the very beginning, and I never I never saw anything different from George Kambosos to make any proper adjustments to win the fight. So I mean, if anybody wants to come in and try to say some bullshit to say, oh nah, man, George Kambosos, he was winning them rounds, mate. You know, he was beating Devin's ass, and he was, you know, giving him some punches here and there, and then the funny part about the entire fight was that George Kambosos was missing so many shots that everybody was cheering that on. They were like, "Oh, knock him out, George!" Like George Kambosos looked like a dumb, retarded child throwing these weird ass punches, and Devin was just slipping, dodging. He was like, "Boom, boom." And I think what Devin should have done, he should have used the uppercut more, and he should have used, you know, the body shots more, because he was hurting George with the, with like the 1-2, you know, step back combination. But I think if he used like 4-5s and 6-7s, he would have easily knocked out George Kambosos. Terry Smooth said, we don't need the rematch, though. This is pretty one-sided. George wants one more payday before he rides off into the sunset. Yeah, I think honestly, Devin Haney needs to get out of that contract. He could easily buy himself out. I think that should be, you know, the thing, like the right thing to do. But if Devin wants to continue with that, he should try to renegotiate the contract to have the fight out in Vegas. So therefore, George Kambosos, he doesn't have, you know, the judges backed inside his corner at home. So I think that's what Devin needs to do. I think Devin should try to make that fight, you know, back in Vegas. And yeah, that's going to be a fully packed, sold out crowd. And I think that would be one of the best fights ever down in Vegas. But I don't obviously want to see a rematch. I just think if Devin really wants to just get George out of the picture, he can do that, but he shouldn't need to do it. I think honestly, he should just drop the belts and he should fight Gervonta, because he doesn't need to have the belts just to fight him. Gervonta doesn't need belts anyway, so therefore, Devin should just go ahead and fight him. Just beat up Gervonta and say, "Hey, look, I'm the man at lightweight. Nobody nobody else is gonna fight me. It should just be me and you fighting for the final placement for undisputed." Whether if he wants to try to wait for the WBA to mandate the belts to be put on the line for his title defenses, or he could just drop them and just fight Tank. Because I think honestly he should just fight Tank, and then after that, if you can't be successful in the Tank fight, you should go ahead and fight Shakur or fight somebody, you know, low tier, and then fight, you know, anybody else on top rank heading up into 140. So therefore you can, you know, be up there. Terry Smooth said one Mexican channel was so mad and emotional. He said he wanted Kambosos to win, so us blacks won't celebrate and be happy that we have another or that we have a undisputed champion. Didn't know he had that much hate. Yeah, fuck these dumbass fucking racist channels, man. I don't pay any mind to them. Like the other day, like when I had like my pound for pound list, I had so many fucking assholes commenting down below saying, "Oh, the fact that you don't put Terrence Crawford in your pound for pound list just shows that you're just a stupid casual boxing fan." And then I had some other like weirdo trying to tell me, "Oh, where the fuck is Lomachenko and all this other nonsensical bullshit." The reason why I don't have Lomachenko on my pound for pound list is because Lomachenko avoided Devin Haney, number one, and skills wise, Lomachenko does not beat any of the top fighters above 130 pounds and above, whether that's at 140, 147. Like the whole point of pound for pound is to be, well, for me at least, I try to be objective as possible, but obviously pound for pound is naturally subjective. But I try to be as factually correct as possible to say that if this style of that fighter was in and was simulated in any other weight class, that shows how good of a fighter that style would be to win at that weight class. So the problem is just that a lot of people took that at heart to say, "Oh nah, man, you're just hating on all these other fighters because you need to put these guys here, those guys there." And I'm like, "No, I don't. If you guys have a fucking problem with it, make your own fucking list. I don't give a fuck about what any of you dipshits have to say. Even if I had like millions of people subscribe to me, I don't care what anybody has to say to me because guess what? It's a sport. If you don't like what people say in the sport that you support, make your own fucking opinion. Make your own channel. Do something. You don't need to go to other people's channels to be pissed off and act like a mentally retarded child to try to cause some fucking racial controversy or fucking political divide because it doesn't do you any good justice to help your arguments, stay in the or sustain in a conversation. But for my pound for pound list, I had for shit. For my pound for for my pound for pound list based off of skill, I only had 10 rankings, but I had number one for Errol Spence, number two Jaron Ennis, number three Javante Tank Davis, number four Jamel Charlo, number five Shakur Stevenson, number six Devin Haney, number seven Subriel Matias, number eight Dimitri Bivol, number nine Gary Antoine Russell, and then number 10 David Benavidez. I mean, that's a good, like a decent list. That's how I thought of putting that list together. But the reason why that I put it there was because I just wanted to put my thoughts out there and just say what I wanted to say. But I had like some like weird ass fucking people commenting down below trying to fucking cause some damn controversy to me. And I'm just like, dude, like I don't have time for that. Just get out of my channel if you don't like it. And I don't need to be listening to because it's like, dude, it's like absolutely retarded. Yeah, so this stupid ass motherfucker 22 hours ago, Edgar Mendoza, he said probably a black guy did this pound for pound list, tripping the fuck out of here. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, dude, you piece of shit. Fucking asshole. But it's like, dude, like I don't need people like that coming onto my channel. It's like if you guys have a problem with me, either get out of my channel and make your own content, or leave me the fuck alone and I don't need to be talking to you. But if you really, really want beef with me, you're not going to see me in real life, but still, talk to me man to man. You don't need to be talking like a little child in the comment section. But Terry Smooth said, not trying to be racist here, but a lot of Latino fighters hate Devin last night, calling him bordering. They went to sleep. Then they said they don't respect him as the undisputed champion. What? I mean, I know for me, like myself, it's like, you know, I respect Devin, and like I say that, just as a man and a black man, but it's just like obviously let the racist, Hispanic channels, or obviously let the Mexican channels that don't give a shit about the sweet science of boxing. But yeah, man, like I don't pay any mind to them. They're absolute yeah, they're absolutely retarded, and they don't have any bearings with their arguments, trying to say, oh, Devin shouldn't be respected as as an undisputed champion. Well, hey, he's still number one, so if you guys have a problem with him, then you go up there and fucking fight him, because none of you will ever go out like Devin Haney did last night. He went all the way out to Australia, coming in as the B side, took less money, beat the shit out of Kambussy, and then he comes back to America. That's respect. He should have gotten $25 million for coming all the way out there. But guess what? Devin, he's his own promoter, so therefore Devin's going to get paid regardless. He's going to get paid by the sponsorships. He's going to get paid by networks that like him. Devin is in a good spot right now. Nobody can't mess with him. No matter how much you guys hate on him, it doesn't matter. You guys are dipshits. You guys are all losers. You guys have no bearings in the YouTube boxing scene and in boxing, because none of you will ever get into the ring and actually fight. Because none of you won't fight. None of you can't fight at all. None of you. But guess what? Keep hating, and then we black folks and we all the other LDBC related channels, we're gonna come out and keep like appreciating these guys like Devin Haney, because he deserved it. Terry Smooth said at 130, I see Loma losing to Shakur. At 135, I got Devin, Tank, and possibly Michelle Rivera or Rayo Valenzuela beating Loma as well. Gary needs that rematch with Loma too. Yeah, like I like to see that rematch too. I think honestly, Lomachenko, he needs to be sent to the gauntlet. He needs to be beat up by all the young, up and coming lightweights. And I think Lomachenko, he deserves to get his ass beat, man, because it's like, why does Lomachenko need to get a shot with Devin Haney, knowing that Lomachenko, he's in war right now, or he's still out in the Ukraine. So I don't believe anything that Bob Arum says about him, to say, oh, Lomachenko is going to come back and fight Devin Haney. No, he's not. No, he's not. But the man's 34 years old. He does not have the same athleticism as he once did. And even if Lomachenko was younger, he knew himself that he could not beat Devin Haney or Shakur or Tank or anybody else, because Lomachenko is just a washed-up fighter. He was never that good to begin with. Terry Smooth said, T. Russ, I go around on these YouTube streets. They don't respect us unless we stand in front of them and just slug it out like Rock'em Sock'em robots. That's what they think boxing is. No, boxing is not like that. Boxing is, the sweet science of being a defensive technical wizard to hit and not get hit. And I always hate these fucking weird ass like Mexicans or British people that just be talking about boxing to say, nah, boxing has always been the rock'em sock'em robots, and always having that glitz and glamour to be an exciting fighter and all that bullshit. And it's like, think about it. If there was a white version of Floyd Mayweather that perfected the sweet science of hitting and not getting hit, everybody would call that person not boring, right? Because there are certain fighters like that do perfect the sweet science, but they don't respect a black fighter or any other coincidentalist fighter that is racially targeted by the media, by the racist audiences of the casuals, and all that nonsensical bullshit, where they just don't want them to be in the sport because they know how dangerous they are and skill set of beating their favorite fighter. So that's why they say that black fighters in particular are boring, because they know how dangerous and skill set they possess to make their favorite fighters lose to pure masterclass boxers or pure boxer punchers. So there's a reason why they say that. They say that because they're too because they're too afraid what the outcomes what the outcome will be at the end of the day. And I don't give two shits about them. Like I said, it's like as long as we keep ignoring those people, and us hardcore boxing fans keep growing to the point where we keep praising the sweet science, then eventually all these racist ass people, they're gonna be gone. I don't see that in any other sport other than boxing. You don't see no weird ass racist people coming on to NBA basketball channels saying, "Oh, LeBron James, he's boring, man. F that Negro or F that nigga." Like, no, like, you don't see that because the NBA has built such a good community of hardcore basketball fans. So I don't see why boxing can't do that. Boxing can do it. It's just that the community needs to grow into a major mega hardcore boxing community stable. Salute to you, Omega. Salute to you. Thank you for coming by. Terry Smooth says, true. Styles like Rigondeaux and Haney are never appreciated with many fans, but to us, it's a science. Hit, move, evade, slip, reset, and then gauge distance with probing jabs. It's a science. Yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, I think honestly, at the end of the day, the science itself will always be respected by the hardcores. But I think at the end of the day, the racist casuals are the mass majority of idiots that obviously want to tear that shit down and say, nah, that's not what boxing needs to be. Boxing needs to just be hit 'em, they try to think boxing is a game of knockouts, and I don't play with that crap. But either way, moving forward with Devin Haney's performance with George Kambosos, he did a good job, man. He did a very, very good job. But yeah, I mean, I think what should be next for Devin Haney is that he should focus on trying to get that fight in with Gervonta. I think him and Gervonta need to fight each other. I think that will be the fight of the year. That will be the fight of the century, and that's going to reset boxing once again. So I don't know, man. I think honestly, man, at the end of the day, like Devin Haney doesn't need to stay at 135. He could easily just get up and go. He already has, all the credibility that he can get from us. So I don't think Devin Haney needs to be there anymore. I think Devin should just go ahead and, fight anybody else. So I mean, like, to me, like, I don't see anything else left for him other than fight Tank. But let's move on with the other fights that happened as of last night. With Cool Boy Steph and David Morrell, and then I'll get up out of here. Omega Red said they do that also. Come to Ticket Channel. We have races on fishing channels. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, shit like that pisses me off too. Like, I hate that shit as well. Like, honestly, look, the thing about these weird racist trolls is that they talk all the shit that they want behind a computer. But once they see you in real life, they can't say that shit to you in real life because they know what's going to happen to them. They're going to get beat the hell up, and they're going to end up losing in a physical altercation. So it's but the racists show their true colors, but it's they can't show it to you in real life because they know what's going to happen. So like I said, like, I just pay no mind to them because they don't have a life. They don't have anything to gain. All they do is just try to start shit that they can't back up. So yeah, let me finish up the last two fights and then I'm gonna get up out of here. For David Morrell versus Calvin Henderson, I thought that was a good fight. I thought David Morrell did his thing. I thought Calvin Henderson, he kind of just came in there just to get knocked out. I didn't see any proper adjustments made for the fight itself to be successful, and I felt like Calvin Henderson could have fought a lot better on the outside, and he could have made the fight a lot more easy to the point where he could have easily won the fight based off of just boxing. But yeah, some people were saying that Henderson was winning the fight, but I don't know. I don't think Henderson was actually winning. I kind of felt like Henderson was putting on a decent display, but it wasn't anything to the level of which he was actually doing very, very good. So I wasn't too sold on him. I personally thought David Morrell, he was just having like a free for all type of fight where he was just trying to do the best he can to try to win. But I think honestly, at the end of the day, David Morrell did what Ronnie Shields wanted him to do. He was just having fun out there. He wasn't he wasn't showing anything different from his last fight. Obviously, with Alantis Fox, but I think leading into the future, David just needs more experience. I don't think he should be put in line to fight David Benavidez next. I mean, if they really really want to do that, I mean, go for it. I think that's a good winnable fight for David Morrell, but it's also a heavily winnable fight for David Benavidez. So I'm not too sure how that's going to work out. I mean, I think honestly, if they fight each other now, I think David Benavidez will have the veteran level experience over David Morrell. So I'm not too sure. I think that's a very very difficult fight for both of them. But as far as that goes, David Morrell did his thing. I like to see more improvements with his defense and his boxing, and I think eventually he'll be ready, man. I don't see David Morrell trying to like be that type of guy to try to say that, oh well, he's this ultra level high skilled fighter, with only like what 7 fights and all that nonsense. To which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I like seeing fighters coming into the pros early, but I think the problem with him is just that he's not being put at the level yet to be ready for the highly dangerous fights, and I think he's ready for them. But I think he just needs a couple more fights left, and then he'll be ready for the top threes or top fives. I personally would like to see him fight David, or I want to see him fight either Danny Jacobs, Edgar Berlanga, or possibly. Um, I wouldn't mind Demetrius Andrade. I think he could beat Andrade. I think that's a fight that he could easily win, but that's a fight he could very well lose because Andrade, he's a masterclass boxer, and he could he could still punch. He could still, put the beating on you. But I think the next step for David Morrell is to just keep getting more experience. I wouldn't mind a fight with Jesse Hart. I think that's a great, amazing fight. He could also fight Caleb Plant, maybe sometime in the future, or a guy like Carlos Gongora. He's a top 10 fighter. Um, I wouldn't mind a John Ryder. I think John Ryder, he's not really worth of the beating to try to pound on, but I think a young gun like a Edgar Berlanga, or go after maybe like a Shane Mosley Jr. I think that's a perfect style matchup. And there's also like another Cuban fighter. His name is Osles Iglesias. He's obviously just a 6-0 Cuban that is fighting at super middleweight, but I don't think that's a fighter that we're probably going to hear too much about. Don't know how old he is. I think he's he has to be like in his 30s if I'm not mistaken. But either way, I think that's a great fight in the future for David. If that's going to be a good Cuban on the rise, don't really know too much about this guy, but he doesn't really have too much of a age, display of who he is. So he kind of looks like he's in his 20s, but he looks like a pretty decent fighter. But yeah, I mean, other than that, good win for David Morrell, and that's pretty much it for the co-main event. And now I'm going to close it up with the main event with Stefan Fulton. I thought Fulton did an amazing job to Mr. Daniel Roman. Uh, I thought that was a very, very high class performance. and I thought Roman did what he had to do, but I thought Fulton, he just came out dominating him. It was a very, very weird fight because Fulton, he just started like gassing out early, and he wasn't like doing what he was supposed to do, which is to box and actually like make Roman outclass. But he did what he had to do. It was a good fight, but I wouldn't say it was his best performance. I felt like he did better in the Brandon Figueroa fight because the Figueroa fight, he dominated him. He beat the brakes off of him at his own game. But Danny Roman, he came to fight. He did what he had to do. I mean, it was a very, very difficult fight. And I don't know where he goes from here. I think Danny Roman, he should just move up to featherweight and try to test the waters out there. But I mean, if he wants to stay at 122, there's nothing like there's obviously no problem with that. It's just that he needs to just build up the experience, and then eventually he'll be up there. But I think Danny Roman, that was a good sturdy test for Mr. Stefan Fulton, and I thought that was a good fight. So I don't know what goes on next for Stefan Fulton. I think he should wait for the winner between Ronnie Rios and MJ Akhmadaliev. I think MJ, he could very well lose that fight against Ronnie Rios. I would like to bet my money on Ronnie Rios, but that's a very, very risky fight to bet on, simply due to the fact that Ronnie Rios is not the type of guy to really box well, but he could punch very, very well. But I think Ronnie Rios will have a very difficult fight ahead of him. And I mean, if he beats MJ, I think him and Fulton need to fight down in Dallas, Texas to unify for undisputed. But either way, I am definitely looking forward to that fight, and I think that's going to be the fight of the year for the super bantamweight division, between the winner of these two. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to kind of say what I wanted to say, and I think that was a pretty good, decent, live stream that I had today. I will be doing my very first ever NBA rating show for basketball. For those of you that are interested in coming through, I'll probably have that later on, in the night. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Salute to the mighty, mighty LDBC, and salute to Devin, the Dream, Haney, and the Nightmare as well. And salute to Bill Haney. Salute to everybody, man. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. Salute to you, Terry Smoot. Salute to you, Omega Red. Thank you guys for coming by. And yeah, I will see you guys later on in the night. And I'll see you guys next week as well. So thank you guys, and peace out. Bye.